Okay, boys and girls, if there's any girls. This video has to do with me preparing the truck for the 6-7 swap and everything. We're kind of getting into that stage. I've been trying to post as many videos as I can. It's been a struggle lately. I have so much on the go. Been doing so much, traveling to Barrie's, this and that. But I have some coming, have some to edit still. But there is a dyno day on the 10th of October. And I want the 6-7 in. I have pretty much every part. I have tuning kind of figured out, who I'm going with. And today, I have the 2nd. So I have 8 days. Doesn't sound like very many days to do a swap. Anyways, so today I'm working on my traction bars. Here we are. This is gonna be one video itself. The traction bar is gonna be a video. And yeah, so what we have here, I've built them before. I don't feel like I need to build them myself, or buy them, so I can build them. What you do is first, you grab a clamp of some sort, just draw a circle, and then from there, you can at least trace it on your, like put it up on your axle, see where you need to cut, and you kind of cut accordingly. And then from there, you kind of want to know where your heim sits. So this one's a decent size heim, but you don't want it. This one was kind of in the center of this, but I want this to kind of rotate back. So these will be weld on, right? So I want it to take a lot of load kind of at the back. So I moved this from, this was center of here. And I kind of moved it to like a, I think that's my hole now. So I moved it kind of, I don't know, not quite a third over, but say like that's probably 5/8, it's probably 3/8. So that'll sit. I'm gonna extend this part right here up higher to be level with this. This is gonna be so overkill, and it's gonna be, this is 1/4" cardboard, but it's gonna be 1/4" plate as well. So like looking at this, it's gonna be so beefy. But that's gonna sit on the axle, and then this heim, put this on here, it's gonna sit right there. So it's got about 1/2 inch of material all the way around it. Kind of protects the heim. It will protect your bars and stuff if you hit rocks or whatever. And then from here, oh, let me focus it here. If it'll focus. Okay, so the axle here. So from this tube to the bottom of the diff here, it's about 4 3/4, 5 inches, maybe 4.5. So from here down, you don't want it to be any lower than your diff. That wouldn't make sense. So I have this, I think, just grab the tape here quickly. Got that, 4.5. So with a decent size heim in there. And that'll sit right about there. So it won't touch the diff, right? Because the diff will be right here. So the rod won't touch the diff. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of just going for it. I want to show you guys a video of without the traction bars, and then I'll bolt them up and show you with the traction bars. Just like how the axle wraps. It's actually, it's a big amount. And I can feel it when I tow, coming off like a street light or something. And I know when 6-7's in there, I will definitely feel it. And it's also gonna help all my shafts, my tranny, all the flex that goes through your driveline when it does that. It'll help all that. So I'm excited. And I'm just gonna kind of tinker away, pick up the camera when I can, and to show you guys. I want you guys to kind of come along this whole process with me. I do have, so I have these heims, and then, where are they? And right here, I have 2-inch, this is schedule 80 pipe. I don't know, it's like probably 1/8 wall, maybe a bit bigger I think it is. But in here, so I got my inserts right here. Go inside the pipe, and then if you can weld, Now I say if you can weld, as in if you have a ticket. I would not suggest doing traction bars if you don't really know how to weld, but if you have some kind of metal experience in welding, I'm sure you can figure it out. But you weld this inside the pipe, just like so. This will slide in there, and then when you slide it all the way in, this will butt up there, and you weld in that seam. So, pretty straightforward. Yeah. I am also at the front bracket here. I will do, so I have my camper tie downs, which I use quite often, which is actually kind of perfect because they use 1/4 inch plate right here, and they do 2 bolts to the frame. So let me get underneath here. So they do a bolt there, a bolt right there. I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna get it all powder coated so it looks good too. But I think I'm gonna add right here in this section, right off of here. I'm gonna try to add a piece that comes underneath. And then rather do 2 bolts, I don't really know what I wanna do yet. Let me put another bolt right there. I don't know. Probably do a piece right here somehow. Maybe even cut this back. Seems to be a little long for me. And then I might just drill 2 holes here and bolt. I don't really like drilling to the frame, but this is gonna definitely structure the frame a lot more too. I could just do like a plate here and then cut an oval in it and like bung weld it kinda to the frame. I don't really like that idea because biggest thing for me, especially on the frame, is rust jacking. Like this, I've taken this all off, but this was rust jacking when I got the truck. So if you weld it on, it's gonna rust jack and you can't really get it off. So having it bolt on, at least you can take it off, clean it up, paint it down, spray oil in there, whatever you want. It's kind of my philosophy. But my rear diff, it will be welded on. For the simple fact, these 3rd gen diffs, and I think a lot of the kits are the same way, especially if you have big airbags, the U-bolt sits right here and the mount's right here, and in line with the frame is right about here. So my track bar mount's gonna go from like here to like there. So what I need to do is weld it. I thought about flipping these around, grabbing like a 2nd gen mount, because they mount like the bolts are on the bottom here on the 2nd gens. Thought about doing that, and then like on this plate have like my mounts right here for my track bars, but then putting so much like twisting motion, instead of it being welded to the frame here, it would kind of be like all the load would be over here, but the load's right here. I don't know. Anyways, so I'm going to weld this onto the frame, and then for this U-bolt, I'll just build some tabs that come off, and or as much as I don't want to do it, maybe add like a little stitch weld right here. When this is like loaded, when this bag has pressure on it, like it even has 10 pounds in it right now, but it's not going to move on this axle, right? So if I just did a little tack weld there, and maybe one on the other side as well, like in the future you just take grinder in there, you could cut it, or you could just get a die grinder, whatever, just a little zip disc on a die grinder would work as well. And you could just cut that if you needed to ever replace your bag or something. But that is my philosophy. This is definitely cheaper than buying them. I'm not a cheapskate in a way, but I like to do things within reason. And since I'm a fabricator, might as well use my knowledge to that. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Plan is to get these done as fast as I can so that I can get them all off to powder coat end of this week or beginning of next. And then while I'm doing my engine swap, my intercooler pipes here will be getting powder coated, just black. And then the traction bars, I'm not sure yet. I think traction bars might just go like the same, try to get like the same kind of color as the dually, if I get the powder coat right. Hard thing about powder coating anything underneath like that is powder coat's hard to touch up. If I painted them myself, I could just touch them up in the spring after the rocks hit them and stuff. I don't know, we'll see. I'm quite excited though. I've had a truck with traction bars before. Man, does it ever work well. I don't know why it's taken me this long to get them on this truck, since I've almost put 100,000 kilometers on this thing. But the time has come and I'm excited. Let's get to it. Okay, focus camera, focus. Okay guys, so here's where my camper mount was mounted. So they used that hole there, and used that hole right there. Now that was just a 1/2 inch hole, like that. But I took a die grinder, that die grinder right there, and I die grinded open more. And here, let me try to show you why. So, how they would have got that bolt in, because there's no hole on the other side, they would have got it, they would have fed a wire through there to this hole, and then they would have wrapped the wire around the bolt, and they would have pulled the whole bolt through. Anyways, I didn't want to be dealing with that, especially if I'm going to take it on and off, if I do, you know. So I made this a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a lot bigger, and so I can fit the head in, you know, kick the washer sideways, boom, the washer goes in just like that. And it has a little bit of adjustability, and then to get it out, I just get the washer to go sideways, just like that. So now I drilled the hole on the bottom here, because there was no hole, but the track bar is going to go right about here. So I'll put the bolt in there, track bar, like the heim will be right about here, and from there it'll be a straight shot back. But yeah, so that plate will kind of come down here, and then it'll go across, and it'll be bolted, and then right here I'll have 2 ears, probably the same ears that I used to weld in the diff. I'll just cut like where it goes around the diff, I'll cut that off, and you'll see. And then I'll weld them on that flat piece, probably like that, down, bolt hole, bar goes back. It's the plan, but the same at the bottom here. I can feed that in, feed the washer in, and now that's, at least I can leave it there, you know. I can put my plate on, bolt that one up, and then these ones, should be able to leave that one in there for the most part. I have to take this bracket off just so I can tilt the plate out a bit. We'll see. Maybe a bit of a fight, but I'm excited. I'm here, I don't know, it's like 10 o'clock at night, trying to get this done. But I'm going to now fix up my plates here. I'm going to take the camper bar mount out, unbolted there, and then I'm going to weld my little plate on the bottom there. That's going to go across here. Just got to take a measurement of how wide that's going to be. But anyways, mint. This is going to be so sweet. Look at that rust jacking. Like, this frame is insanely clean. The truck, the cab, everything. But look at that rust jacking. Look at that. No, it's not something to really worried about. I feel like it was more rust jacking. If you kind of look at it, it's more the paint is where it wore off, and this rust right here that you see kind of where it stands out a bit. It's more from that plate. So I feel like that plate was like very poorly painted. So this isn't really the frame that's taken away. But if it sat there any longer, I'm sure it would have done some damage to the frame. So glad I'm taking care of that. I'll wire wheel that up, and I just put some POR on that, and then that's gonna be powder coated, so don't have to worry about that. But that POR stuff, the POR 15 is what it's called. It's really good for just kind of bringing that frame back to what it was. But anyways, here's your little update. Alright guys, so this is what I was talking about. So I took this exact template, just cut the ears off. So that will be the front part. So this will go in the frame like that, and then the back side here. Let's see if I can stand it up. So there'll be a plate It goes like this, and then that'll rest up against the frame. Probably more on top of that. But then this flat ear will be like right there in line with the outside. And then 3 inches over will be another one. And then the heim will go right in between. And then I'll probably put on the back side here a little brace. Just so it, I don't know. Same with like the back side of the axle. I'll put like a, I don't know, just a brace to hold the 2 ears from bending. And then I'll do the same on the front. I'm pumped. This is gonna look actually really good. And it actually might take me a better part of the day tomorrow to get it all mocked up, bolted in, so then I can send it all to powder. I'm gonna have to, it's gonna be kind of hard to weld those pieces on the frame without having the rods cut to the proper length, because you kind of need to bolt the front part up, bolt your I guess you could weld one side on, like one of the heims on, bolt that up, give yourself like half thread, and then measure where your other one's gonna hit, cut it, weld it, and then make your mounts. I don't know, I'll just let you guys know what I did, because I'm gonna do it. But yeah, this is just your average project, I guess, here. And then these are the front ones, those are the rear ones. I did not measure this plate by chance, I just grabbed it from the fab shop there. So yeah, I'll just take that one. It ended up being exactly what I need, so that's like a great blessing for sure. But yeah, like that I just randomly guessed it. Like I had nothing at all, but fits perfect. And then I will weld all 4 of these together. Same with those. And then I'll drill my hole, one hole through all 4 at once, so they're the exact hole. And then while they're tacked all together, I will grind all the edges up as well, so it looks nice. Do that for both. And then I built a set for my brother before, so like those ones, that's what I did. They all turned out perfect, so then you're dealing with literally the exact same pieces all the way around. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna torch those. Just pick away with anything I can. Okay guys, so we got the plate all cut out. Got all our ears and everything right here. I was struggling with the torch this morning, I don't know why. Here we are. So I'm going to just grind this up quick, just get all the slag off, so that I can weld them all nice and close together. And then from there, I'll grind them all somewhat flat, and then I'll take the flapper disc and just make them nice. I'd put it on time lapse, but this is just boring work, man. Just fills the video up. I don't want to do that. So I'll get to work here, grinding all these up, and then I'll clamp them together, tack them, and I'll do a nice finish for the rest. So here we go. Okay. So we got our hole drilled, 3/4 inch hole, which is fairly big, but she's a dually, she hauls a lot. And then this is what I've done. So I've obviously grinded it down, but you can see right here, weld across. And this one I did 3 spots, right here, and right there. And then yeah, you just grind it all up. The torch really butchered it, so I really was kind of there grinding for a while. But yeah, now I'll take these apart, and then just round all the edges on both sides, clean up all the holes here. But I'll show you in here. I'll show you the back ones. They actually came out really well. So this is them fully grinded up. Obviously I grinded right here so that, on focus, grind right here so I could weld there. But those, like, you know, awesome. Once they're on the axle, say like this, and then spaced out, like I'll probably put like a little cross piece across the back. You'll see. Just to give it some just strengthen it, I guess. Kind of make it like one whole unit. And yeah, it's coming along. Just takes time. Nice thing to drill press, and it's also nice drilling all your holes at once. Don't make the mistake of drilling all 8 holes separately, because oh, it's not gonna focus here. There you go. Don't make the mistake doing it 8. Just do it all at once, like this. And just drill press is definitely ideal. I really hope you would have one, or just at least a vise, like a vise, and then those are welded together. You can put this in the vise and then stand on top of the table and drill down. That'd be okay as well. But this is obviously superior. But yeah, I'm going to now, what am I gonna do here? I'm gonna grind these up, take the welds out, grind those up. Then I'm gonna grab my mounts that I have for the front of my truck there, the front of the traction bars. Those that bolt on, I'm going to weld all this together, hopefully get those on so that I can weld one side of the heim onto the bar, bolt it up, have it kind of in place, roughly know where I need to put the other side of the heim, cut the pipe, do that, and then tack everything in place on the axle. Just takes time, so don't have it, but I guess I'll make it. Anyways, I'll give you guys an update when I get going. Oh yeah, look at it. So those are the front mounts. All welded out. Those dimes. If it focuses. No, it doesn't want to. Alright, anyways. Yeah. I'm pumped. That turned out better than I could have really asked for. Fits in there like a glove. Oh boy, I'm dirty. And yeah. I'm probably just gonna go home now. Ugh, just leaving this thing a disaster. But I'm gonna grab all my bolts that I need. Everything, come in the morning, bolt them up, weld one end of the bar, plop it in there, swing to the axle, see what I need. Pretty, I don't know, I can't wait to see what this thing does with the track bars. Especially since there's a 2-piece in there, I know there's so much flex. I'm waiting for a 1-piece. I just don't want to buy a new one. I'll find one used. I've done everything else pretty much used, so I'll find one. And from there, yeah, I'm just excited to see. Especially with the added power, I'll need it for sure. Not a fan of welding on my axle. That is something I'll just heat it up with the torch, and then away I go, I guess. But here we go. Tomorrow should be bars on, and then I don't know, I'll call the powder coat place, see what they think they have for timeline. Might get them done, so stay tuned, boss. Hey, good morning, guys. We've got progress done this morning. Quite the progress. I got all my nuts and bolts, everything I needed. A couple runs to the parts store, but you know how it goes. Let me show you how it turned out. So that is it. So I did to get these bolts in here, so what I did to get these bolts in here, I took wire and I put a washer on the inside, and I put the wire, and then you feed it in there and you feed the wire up. And then if you ever drop this in your frame rail or anything, at least you can pull it out, washer and bolt. Also kind of keeps it in the hole if you bend this up and around the frame. Kind of just keeps the bolt where it is. Anyways, it was super easy install. We got this there, which probably could take a little bit off that, but it ain't gonna go nowhere, that's for sure. So that clears. I already cut that once, but cut it again. Anyways, that's how it's gonna be. Focus, come on. Yeah. It's gonna be like that. I am excited. The other side's over there. Sweet. This tab on here. It's gonna cut it off, but I left it on in case I need to, for some reason this bends or something. I don't think it will, but then I could go up, put another bolt here if I had to. But yeah, boys. Sweet deal. So I'll still have my camper brackets here. That'll come out for when I need my camper. But still got traction bars. And I don't feel like it looks clean. As clean as it can be for having camper mounts here. So I'll go get these powder coated. And first I obviously gotta mock everything else up. But so that's how she's looking. She's looking mighty fine. All grade 8 hardware. Big 3/4 inch bolts. Massive heims. This thing ain't not going nowhere. Okay, so guys, we got the track bars are welded at one end. And now obviously I ordered a little bit bigger than I thought I would need, which is a little bit bigger than I thought, but I'll take like 6 inches off of that. Or maybe even a bit more than that. Just about 2 inches of thread on the heim. But we'll measure that out, try to get it so it's dead center. And then what we'll do from there is we'll bolt up these actual ones with the heim on the end there. Get to like roughly the exact same amount of thread per heim. And then from there, put these onto the frame. Maybe put a jack underneath or something to hold it. And get it to where you want on the frame. And tack weld it. And then take it all down. Put your magnets. Both of them. Put your magnets on it on each side, or just one side, whatever, it doesn't really matter. And then make sure you do enough tacks because it'll want to pull one way, which isn't a big deal because you can just get a bar in there and kind of bend it back. Anyways, it's coming along, and it won't be very long before I can take it for a rip, I guess. Take it for a rip, turn it around, pull it in, pull the engine out. That's the plan. So the next video, guys, this thing will probably be 2 parts, probably, or even maybe 3. But pulling the engine out, and then stripping down the 6.7, swapping everything from the 5.9 to the 6.7, putting gaskets in the 6.7, studs, injectors, push rods, valve springs, Steed's manifold, 63, turbo, which is a little different setup I'm going to be running, so you guys want to stay tuned to that. And just slapping this thing back in there in hopes and prayers that we can have it running for next Friday. It is the plan. I am so pumped. I really want it to work. Barry will be down Thursday sometime, and which doesn't give us a whole lot of time together, but at least I'm struggling with one thing or another. I also got to put the in-tank in, the tank. Oh man, okay, anyways, a little bit of a different rant. I'm gonna get to work. I'm gonna get these all tacked up on the axle. I'll probably pull the wheels off. Let's get this done. Sweet. I'm so pumped. Okay, guys. That was something you guys did not want to see. Me welding those on there. I was getting pretty frustrated. But oh, come on. Give me light. There you go. So that's them in there. Pretty sweet. That's like 1/2 inch higher than the diff. And then these protect the heim. A little bit of gap in there so I can close it with the nut. But yeah, like finally got my welds to. Oh, come on. Give me a second here. Yeah, there we go. So I finally got them decent, but Man, this little buzz box, it's so frustrating at times because coming from a shop with good welders, these things are so finicky. Any little bit of wind, everything, they're just, I don't know. You could go buy a nice little Miller, I guess. This is a Hobart though, so it's not the worst one out there. And it could be serviced, like the tips and all my wheels for the wire. They all could be serviced, I'm sure. But it was, I don't know, anyways. That's how welding goes. They're on there, and I'm happy with them. I just need to paint them now. I'm gonna go home for some dinner, come back. But yeah, tires are off. It was a full deal. She's on there. And what I'm excited about is that this for my airbag mount. How I said I was gonna weld it here. Look at that. So that fits. And as I was saying before, I was gonna weld a gusset, say, on the back here. So this was kind of all one. But with a 3/4 inch bolt in there, that is all one. I'm not worried about that at all. Race trucks all the time just have ears, like just way smaller than this. So this is like way overkill. But I'm excited. I did have to, I don't know if you can see that. Give me a second. Let's see if I can line this up. So with the frame, I don't know if you can see it, but I had to kind of kick it over this way a bit, about 1/2 inch. So it's not dead center with the frame, which just doesn't really matter at all. That's what the Heim's for. But that was so I didn't have to weld the airbag mount here. Yeah, because if I was to move this over 1/2 inch, this wouldn't have fit there. So that'll fit there nice now. I can put those U-bolts back in that hold that airbag mount down. This thing is gonna be a rockin' and rollin' unit. Tonight, you guys are gonna have to watch the next video, but the next video will be, I'm gonna finish this probably in a few days. I'm gonna get the traction bars and everything powder coated and the front mounts, and then I will do the video, or I'll just do the short bit of what traction bars do and how they work. Yeah, I'll show you guys how the axle actually wraps. I had to mock something up that bolts the axle so I can show you guys, but from there, that'll be finishing this video. But the next video is going to be me putting the 6.7 in this truck. That engine right there. I'm going to start pulling this thing apart tonight. I got, I don't know, 5-6 days till I want it done for a dyno event. I have dual exhaust to put on. I got everything I told you guys before. It's gonna be a crunch. I'm excited though. It's the last kind of event of the year. And then this thing's probably just gonna get parked for the winter until maybe that 08 sells or whatever we figure out with that 08. I'll probably just run it. You guys probably don't even know about the 08, but I did buy another truck. It needs a head gasket and a turbo. And I got it for really cheap. It's a Laramie truck. You'll see it. It needs a head gasket though, so I'm probably gonna drive that truck in the winter, as I got it cheap enough that I can justify owning it for the winter. Yeah, we'll go from there. Anyways, guys, I will see you when this thing is actually working and what traction bars actually do for your truck.